started out so eerie and foreboding, and I had no idea what was going to happen. I was like, who's going to die? It felt the whole time like something terrible was going to happen. And really, the terrible thing was expectations not meeting reality, or vice versa, reality not meeting expectations. And the weight and seeing how much pressure somebody was putting on themselves for something they had absolutely no control over. So themes of like helplessness and patience, and again, all very relevant right now because no matter what our best laid plans, a lot of us can't go through with them right now. So I thought it was a beautiful love story. It wasn't even really a love story, but there was a comfort in the end and the idea that everything was going to be okay, and it was eventually.
Very moody. Very atmospheric. The bleak and sort of bleached out color palette contributed to that, as well as the score, which was very evocative and atmospheric as well. So that all contributed to this moodiness or of the film. But an intriguing film, and I think the message that if you persevere, things will turn out right in the end, especially in this day and age with the pandemic, resonates.
I was really engaged the entire time. I wanted to understand what was going on. I was like really invested, and I think that like as you know the movie built and built and built, and as you kept getting farther into it, I understood more and more and more of like what was going on in the film and how the timelines kind of were woven together. And I think that like from a story point, like I really enjoy stories personally that aren't necessarily linearly told. Definitely liked how disconnected it felt in the beginning because of how everything was in the middle of a renovation. And like if you've ever been through a renovation, that's 100% how it feels. It feels like your entire life is being disrupted, especially if you're renovating like something as huge as an entire apartment. Like if you renovate one room, it seems to disrupt everything. So the fact that his personal storyline felt so disconjointed, I really liked that, pairing that with the renovation, because it felt very authentic that like that's what it would feel like, especially if he was waiting for clearance to actually go through and finish it, because you could tell he'd already put a lot of work into it. The tone and the feeling of the movie was really on point the entire time.
This one was very intriguing to me in terms of imagery and storyline. I really loved how the visuals kept flashing between the renovation and the leaks and the emotions he was struggling with as he was trying to let someone new into his life. So for me, it was more about setting the mood and reflection of his mental health. So sometimes we can create our own barriers, and then other times we can overcome them with a push.
I thought this was a really beautifully complicated piece. The dissonance between the images of the unfinished unit and his relationship and what the future of that may be, I thought was really well balanced between the two. There was a great deal of unease and uncertainty and stress about kind of the foundation of his living space and also the foundation of his relationship. So I thought it was also a really beautiful, uplifting ending.
I think that the meaning of the film can only be understood at the end of it. The house is a metaphor of the inner conflict that the protagonist is dealing with. Especially, I think, in terms of the construction of the bathroom, I found the bathroom to be a metaphor for the most intimate part of the protagonist, which also had created a sense of discomfort through the whole movie.
While the title would suggest that this is a character study of a man renovating his soul for the betterment of cleanliness, for the sake of privacy, what I was really taken with Renovation was the effective use of water as a motif, whether it is toilet water or something to be drowned in. The water it's captured very metaphorically as suffocation as well as a device to which to feel privacy, to which to cleanse oneself. And I thought that was a very romantic use of that element.
I really enjoyed, even at the beginning, the text being shown. The volume of the notifications even really brought to us the importance that the character felt that these texts showed in their head. So that was a nice way to connect us to the story off the bat. I enjoyed all the close-ups of the sounds, of the small little sonic things here and there, the construction materials, the loud water pipes, really good way to showcase the setting. And lastly, I very much enjoyed the journey that was being shown with the metaphor of the renovation in terms of discovering sexuality. That was wonderfully done.
I thought this one did some really interesting things with the cinematography, for one, just making a meal out of little moments in a really interesting way. Yeah, I thought it was really clever. Good job, guys. It's called Renovation. I like that.
I could definitely see the emotional turmoil throughout the film that the protagonist was dealing with.
I like this one because it has this very powerful statement that says it shouldn't be called sexual orientation but love orientation, because it's not just the sexual part. In any relationship you always have other different subjects around it, and I like how they constantly use the sound of water, and I really like the imaginary shower scene, where it is very calming and insightful.
You know, sometimes our feelings of doubt and worry, they cloud our perception of what's really happening, or be able to experience the good things in life. I think we've all been through this at some point or another. I thought it was very well portrayed. The symbolism of these monsters kind of coming out and taking over our psyche was really well done. Well acted, and well written as well. Great job.
I was so confused at the beginning. But the cinematography and everything got me really hooked. But after a while, like literally in the last 5 minutes, everything falls into the place. And at the end of it, I was like, oh, yes, now I got what he's going to say. What's the message of the whole beautifully well put together film is. That was beautiful. So your place, your home is going to be made by your bondings, your relationships, not by your renovation. I love that.